Hi, this is Russell from Low Fruit Solutions, and today we're going to be talking about the related product articles feature of the Pro Blogger application. The purpose of this particular feature is to display articles that are related to your products on your product pages, and the reason you would do this is obviously to provide more information to your buyer or potential shopper on things like such as reviews or articles related to the subject that involves that product, which would then give the appearance of authority and give a little bit more reasoning or backing perhaps to your shopper for them to ultimately commit that sale. So what does that particular feature look like? Well, let's, as tradition, look at what it doesn't look like. So I'm just going to go into my demo store here, which you should be seeing, and I'm going to click on the catalog just to go into a product here. I'm going to look at the Calypso Mango in this case, and we can see it's just your standard product page for in this case, the debut theme. Right, so we're going to move over to implementation to see what it looks like. And here is the dashboard for my store. This is a demo store, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the app. So here we have the Pro Blogger app. This is the UAT version because we're on a demo store. The production doesn't have the UAT in brackets. Just going to click on that. I'll wait for it to load and just scroll down here. First thing first, we're going to enable the related product articles by expanding the accordion, clicking the enable related product articles and hitting save, and we'll come back to these relative settings in here in a minute. Okay, so that's turned green, good to go. And we're going to go to the install tab. Now the first portion of the install is common to all the Pro Blogger features, so if you've already done the general install section that I'm about to demonstrate, then you don't need to do it again. It's a one-off install. You can move straight to the next section, but for the point of this article this video, we're going to be doing it again. So I'm just going to scroll down here to line 10, and I'm just going to copy this include Pro Blogger section wrapper piece of code. And then what I like to do is I like to create a duplicate tab just to give myself a little bit of space to work in while I'm referring back to the install instructions and also making changes to the code. Just going to hit duplicate here, and then I'm going to go click on online store. This will load up the themes section. You can see I'm on the debut theme. This particular change is universal to all themes. I'm going to hit actions and then edit code. And we're just going to, if you look on the left hand side here, all the relative assets and files that are in your theme, and under the layout folder we're going to click on theme.liquid, and I'm going to be looking for this little piece here which says head in these little brackets, and I'm going to do a carriage return afterwards. I'm just going to paste that include Pro Blogger section wrapper, and I'm going to click on save. So that's the general installation portion done. Now I'm going to go back to the app, just collapse the general install accordion, scroll down to related product articles, and we're going to scroll down a little bit further, and we're going to copy this piece of code that's on line 10, which is the include Pro Blogger snippet related product articles. Copy that. Then I'm going to go back to my code editing window, and I'm going to go down to in older themes you'd make this change to files that are under templates. You would find product.liquid, but in newer themes use sections, and the easy way to tell is that you would have a reference like this particular line here which says section and then a name of a file. In this case it's product-template. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to edit the section then. Sections are found in sections, the folder here, so I'm going to click on sections, I'm going to scroll down and find product-template. Here we go. And then where you put this piece of code will come down to some aesthetic where you would like it placed in relation to your theme. Now, in this particular example, we're going to scroll down and we're going to look for the product description, which is product.description. You can do Control F and actually look for that. Here we go. And what we're going to do is just after it, we're going to paste our little snippet. Right. Now if you wanted to move it around, make it after the sharing buttons, you'd put it here, and likewise you can experiment by placing it in different locations depending on your theme. So I'm going to hit save. Right, I'm going to go back to the product, and I'm just going to hit refresh. And there we go. So what I have here is a number of product articles now, which will just scroll along depending on the number that are in the slider and the relation to them. Now let's go back to the app, because we're going to change some of these settings here, right? Because it's kind of busy with a little bit of text underneath that may be suited to your theme. But in this case, I think we're going to make it a little bit more streamlined, and we're going to change some of the logic. So if we look here, the first item we have here is the review. We have the seasons, fruit, pears, and mangoes, and the origin of the mango. We're going to go back to the application, go back to the setup tab, expand related product articles. And what we have here is the first option. This is the where you want to find articles for your particular to be shown on your product pages. So if you had multiple blogs, for instance, if you had one just called reviews, you may want to just single down on reviews. Or if you have a very large store, for instance, and you run multiple product categories, like for instance, if you had something that was like garden products, and you had a blog specifically dedicated to garden products called lawn care, you would only, you'd select lawn care, because you wouldn't want to show blogging items from your kitchenware blog, for instance, right? In this case, we've only got one. We can choose all or just the existing one, which is called Know Your Fruit. And title relevancy, what this means is how important is that the title of the article matches that of the product name. So if we look here, we go back to the Calypso Mango, right? So the product is called Calypso Mango, and the first one here in the list contains the word Calypso Mango, which is why it has that title relevance in there. So we're going to say that is, at the moment, it's mildly important. Not important means just ignore it. So what we're going to do is, just for interest's sake, we're going to say not important, and we're going to change tags, which is the tags that the product has and the article has. So it's the number of matches between them. And we're going to say that tags are the most important, right? Which is, it'll change the scoring a little bit. And then we'll move over to slider display. So the header is that little bit of text that was showing above. Now this is the little H4s on each side. This is a standard HTML markup, so you can change however you wish, including a little bit of styling if you want. We're going to just make the text a little bit smaller by changing H4 to H5, and we're going to change that piece of text, because related product articles, it means what it says on the tin, but it's really, it's not that engaging, is it? You want to. So let's change it to find out more. Now, the article content length is the number of words that appear under the slider. A slider item, should I say. So here it looks a little bit busy because we have long article titles. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that to 0, make it a little bit more streamlined. Slider size will be the number of results returned and kept in the slider, so not those just displayed. It'll be the entire amount of items. And these will be the best matches according to the criteria you have. And then items to display are the number of articles to display. So we're going to actually increase that, because we want to show 5 articles in that little slider. And we're going to hit save, right? We're going to go back to our related product articles. And there we go. So what we have now is we have 5 articles in the slider, and you'll see the ordering has changed because we've actually made tags as relevant as the or more relevant than the title. So you'll find that the review of the Calypso Mango here, which even though it has the name Calypso Mango in it, is actually gone down the ordering. Where if we were, if you wanted to be more targeted, you could, create a article carrying the product name in it, and and it'll be matched to its tags as well. So we would go back. Let's just make that the most relevant, most important tag relevance. Change that to mildly important, just to change the ordering around again. Alright, so if you had an article, in this case, exactly like this case, where you wanted your review to pop up first, that's how you would do it. You would give it an associated title, make sure the meta tag, the tags exist between the article and the product, and you'd sort the relevancy so that it popped up first. And that is related product articles for you. Pretty straightforward to implement and use. Now, naturally, the slider looks better with more articles that are related to it than less, because the slider will grow into the space, so it starts to get a little bit big otherwise. But a very useful tool if you have multiple sets of reviews and associated informational articles to that product that will help push the sale. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching.